All right, if you're trying to disassemble several components of a 200 series Land Cruiser, then this is the video for you. I will quickly show you how to pull the door off, fender, headlight, and front bumper. And to some extent, I guess that also entails the front grille assembly. The shroud up here, some gasket right there. So I'm going to try to quickly go through this, not make the video super long, but I do want it to be one shot with my phone. So I don't need to edit a video together. So I apologize in advance for a shaky video or any blurriness or any of that. Also, let me start off by saying that the Land Cruiser is really, really well built. One of the upsides of the Land Cruiser is that it's really, really well built. One of the downsides of the Land Cruiser is that it's really, really well built. There's tons of clips, there's tons of screws, there's clips on top of clips and screws on top of screws, and it's all very robust. So there's a lot of stuff to disassemble if you're trying to take one of these apart. So on the door here, you got two 12mm bolts here, two 12mm bolts here. There are 10mm bolts holding this guy in place. And then I'm not going to go back there and show on the door itself. There's a couple other 10mm bolts on the door for the latching mechanism. Then you have this wiring sub-harness here. The wiring goes inside here. There's clips that you could undo. That is really tough to get into. I'm not sure how to get in there. So what I opted to do is just disconnect all of these different assemblies. Some of these clips are kind of a pain in the ass. You have to get a little skinny thing down inside there to unclip them. It took a little screwdriver in here. You can see there's a clip right there in the middle. The clip is facing down, and you have to depress that to get this off. Same thing over here and a couple other spots. I'll leave you to figure out how to do that. I don't want to go too far in depth, otherwise this video will be really long. Okay, so moving on to the front bumper, which is the first thing you'll need to do if you want to get the fender off, which is my main aim. As you can see, the fender is damaged here. So again, I'm just going to go over this really quick. You have some Torx screws under here, 3 Torx screws, and then clips. You can see these little guys are clips. They clip into these thingies here. You want to kind of pull those back, pop this out of place. You also will have a retainer right here, which I've already removed. The retainer does the retaining with these clips up here that go into here. To remove this, you have a 10mm here, a 10mm here, and then these funky square clips, which I wasn't sure how to get these disengaged from this side. You can see they go into the square holes right here. So I just kind of pried them with my interior pry tool and tried to press on these tabs from the inside as much as possible, but it wasn't very smooth. I think this is all still intact. It looks pretty happy, but just be careful doing that, otherwise you might break these clips. Oh, it looks like I broke that little top piece there, but I don't think that's a big deal. It's held in, again, very robustly. So once you get these Torx screws off, you pop this out. Well, you'll have to wait because you've got a bunch of other stuff to do down here. There's a bunch of screws down here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there are some that look like this. And I believe there are some just basic ones, just basic 10mm that look more like this. Can't recall off the top of my head, but anyway, there's a bunch of stuff under here. I will leave you to figure that out. There's plenty of really obvious stuff. The only ones that are really hiding are back under this shroud here. There's a 10mm that looks like this with a little gasket on it. Hiding, you have to pull this shroud down. I think there's a bolt or a clip or something here. Pull that shroud down, get back to that. There's some here and down there. It's pretty obvious where they are. So you obviously want to detach those. Do the same thing on the other side. Come up here to the grille assembly. You got several 10mm. Let's see, if memory serves, this is actually a clip. And this is actually a clip. Yeah, I think it goes in here. Don't quote me on that, but I think these are clips. And then you got 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts, which I have placed over here. And then you have 1, 2, 3 clips that are this style right here. You pull up the center like that, and it disengages for the bottom here. Now the tough thing on these is this guy here. This goes into this square hole right there, and it has this kind of clip thingy on it, and the clip thingy is in the square hole, and you have to depress both sides of this clip, and then it will pop out. It's tough to do. On the same side, or on the other side, I wasn't able to actually get the clip thingy out, and it stayed here inside the connector thingy. But you have the same deal. It's on the headlight, so it's right there. I've already got the headlight off. Okay, once you get that done, you should be able to pull the bumper off. Obviously, again, you're gonna do the same stuff for the other side, obviously. That will allow you to pop some, there's some more clips down here, I believe on the bottom. Oh, and actually, there's another screw here that I believe goes to both the headlight. Wait a minute, don't quote me on that. Yeah, no, I don't think you need to detach that to get the bumper off. No, I think that's just for the headlight. Yeah, that's just this guy here. That's just the headlight. Okay, so don't quote me, but I believe that will allow you to pop the bumper off. Then you got the headlight. Try to quickly go over this. Screw here, same screw that is on the shroud thing, the very first thing we pulled off. Screw down here, screw right here, and screw. No, I thought there was a screw. Oh, that's the one on the bottom. Oh, screw on the side. It's over here. Can't see it so well over here, but see that guy hiding down in there? The bottom one. Yep, down there. This top one is again the screw for the retainer. The one below it, down here, that is for the headlights. Once you do that, let me just inspect this headlight and make sure there's no other weird little clips or anything. Yep, that should allow you to pull the headlight out. You just have this little thing. I think all that is a support bracket for the headlight that slides into a part of your fender right there. And then you should be able to, oh, and then a very small little thing. There's this, see this little tab with this little clip thingy there? That clip thingy sits inside this hole. So what you want to do, I'll show you on the other side. I can't show you. You actually want to lift this up, and then it pulls this little tiny tab out of that hole and allows you to pop this out. Again, there's just redundancy on top of redundancy with these Land Cruisers. It's crazy. It's awesome once it's all assembled because it's rock solid, but if you try to disassemble it, it's a pain. Okay. Actually, we haven't even gone over that shroud yet. Okay, this shroud here, I'll just show you on the other side. It looks like that. It's your gasket that runs along the fender. To remove this, start with this. It'll be a black 10mm right down here. That also holds the headlight in place. That's the thing with the little clippy thing. Then you're going to have 3 clips. Clip, clip, clip. That go into some holes on here, whatever. You want to pop those out with your interior trim tool. That will expose 3 silver 10mm bolts along the edge of your fender here. I want to say there's one more bolt. Is it this one? No, that's one of the 3. Okay, never mind. I think that's it. There will be a bolt behind a little black plastic cover. Let me show you on the other side here. That guy right there. You can prop it up with your interior trim tool, I guess when you have the door open. But there will be a clip right about here and right about here. And I actually broke the black plastic piece on mine and had to order another one because these clips are very, very sturdy in there. So just be careful, otherwise you might break yours. Get your interior trim tool all the way in there, and just try to be careful. Worst case, you got to order this piece. It's like, I don't know, 20 or 25 bucks. Pop that out. Got a 10 millimeter right here. Inside the door, I can't remember if you have to take the door off to do this. So once we get inside here, there is this shroud thingy here on the inside of the panel. The shroud is held on with these. These are not the clip type deals. There's no little pushy center clip thing. As far as I can tell, you just have to pop them out with your interior trim tool. Hopefully they go back into place. They cooperate when I have to pop them back into my new quarter panel. But yeah, anyway, not sure on that. Once you get that popped out, you got another 10 millimeter right here. And then down at the bottom here, you're gonna have to take this running board trim piece off, or at least pull it back far enough to get in here where this guy lives. And you got another 10 millimeter right there. Pop off the bottom. Then you got a whole bunch of clips and Torx stuff inside here. I'm not going to go over every single one because it's pretty obvious. The only stuff that's a little less obvious is up underneath here. You have, again, these center pop style clips. There's 2 of them, about nya and nya, roughly. Pop those off along with the Torx that we did over here for the bumper. And the last thing, other than these bolts hiding behind your retaining bumper retainer right here. Let me just make sure, getting everything. Yeah, we got that. I would, again, I'm just going off of memory here, so I would, obviously inspect everything for something that I might have missed. But I think this is about it for the Fender. There's a tricky one hiding up here. Once you got this guy here, but again, these Land Cruisers are just incredibly, I don't want to say overbuilt, but man, they don't miss anything. There is a 10 millimeter bolt hiding. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. There she is, right in there. So I'm going to try to get to this guy without taking this trim piece off. I think I can just kind of pop this up enough and pull this back enough to get a socket in there, probably on an impact wrench, and just with a straight down, probably barely be able to pull that out. It'll be kind of tough, but getting the new Fender back on with this guy in place, that'll be a whole different story, but I'm going to give it a try. Worst case, you got to take this off. I don't know how to do that. Hopefully it's not glue or something. I just don't want to do that because I feel that there's a seal involved with the windshield here. So if at all possible, I don't want to take this off. But you might have to. After that is done, and I'm going to test my hypothesis here. We just have these last 2 10 millimeter bolts right here underneath the what's it called, the bumper retainer bracket. So I'm going to remove these in real time as my headlight falls down, or tries to, so we can see, so we can kind of verify that indeed this is the very last bolt that we need to get this out. It should be pretty apparent if it is, right? Because the whole thing will flop around and move except for one attachment point up there. So, while I'm taking this bolt out, is there anything else? Oh yeah, obviously you want to take this front shroud off, engine radiator shroud, whatever it's called. It's just like, I think 6 clips. It's a center push type clips, so that you can get to that. That's hopefully pretty obvious. Yeah, I think other than that, that covers about everything. So I can already feel this Fender is just about, oh yeah, Yep, that is all the way off, except for this last guy up here. Woo! Oh, there's a little screw here that just goes into this. Well, anyway, that wasn't very solidly in place, but so it's just this last guy here, hiding down in there that you can't even really see. There she is. So I am going to remove that, and then this fender will be off. If there's any snags or hang-ups, I will amend this video. But otherwise, I'm going to call it right there. It's about 16 minutes for the kind of a half-ass explanation of the door, front bumper, headlights, and fender. Hopefully that helps somebody out there in 200 series Land Cruiser world. This is a pretty big project for me. It's going to be excellent when it's done. I got this at a salvage yard at Copart. It currently has a salvage title. I'm rebuilding it, making it all beautiful again. Got the interior all pulled apart. Doing a bunch of work in here. Putting some new airbags. Putting in a new stereo system. Pulling all this stuff, cleaning the hell out of all the interior panels. Got a little bit more body work to do on the door here. You can use a dent puller. Here's a new door that I have for the front right there. Got a fancy subwoofer put in here with a custom box. That's an LX570 10-inch subwoofer box. And yeah, so it's still got a pretty long way to go, but getting this fender and door done will be a huge help. Oh, also Dynamat. Putting Dynamat on all the panels, and I got to redo headliner. So big project, but almost done. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful to somebody out there. Aloha.